my second year of art school, I managed to achieve something many seasoned journalists had failed to do, an interview with the legendary miniature graffiti artist, Bonksy. His clever little pieces of street art have gained international cult status, popping up in the most unlikely of locations. I suppose it's the obvious question, and one you've been asked many times before, but why the little stuff?
Why go out and deface buildings and piss people off when it doesn't have to be like that? My stuff's so small, it's not offensive. In some cases, it's not even visible to the naked eye.
If it can't be seen by the naked eye, what's the point?
Well, it is the point. For me, there is no point apart from the creative process. But I mean, isn't life full of pointless exercises? I mean, take working. You know, jobs in the wider context of things are just fruitless pursuits. You pack chocolate for 40 years, you retire and you die. And there's exceptions, of course. There's doctors and plumbers and nurses, you know, people who fix things.
But working pays bills. It's a means to an end. How does Bonksy survive?
No, initially it wasn't easy. I did the usual stuff, worked at McDonald's and I stocked shelves at a supermarket, and it was okay because it gave me ideas. I was always thinking about stuff, and that's what's really important.
Some early examples of his rudimentary art can be found at locations where the young Bonksy began his brief working life. Now, if you look very carefully at what appears to be a very small line drawing of a pair of buttons. And in contrast, there's this, the supermarket tramp, a small sketch of a homeless man with a teddy suitcase. Quite poignant, some of your works.
Well, I'd like to think they're all poignant. I guess they're all statements, perhaps not always obvious, maybe a bit random.
And that immediately makes me think of the stuffed toy series?
Yeah, the stuffed toys were probably what really got me noticed first on the international stage. Yeah, it wasn't until you really looked in closely that you saw I'd drawn cancer cells on them.
And that was all part of the abandonment theme?
Yeah, for sure. It seems when someone gets cancer, often people, for whatever reason, they just forget about them. They stop making contact. Maybe because they don't know what to say, or maybe because they think it's contagious, I don't know.
Have you ever felt the long arm of the law?
I was careful, I took precautions. I'd go out during the day and case the place out, and then go back there at night, and by sunrise I was long gone, the work had been done. I didn't get as many as 20 or 25 buildings and vehicles done in a night.
And so your duplicate series, it came after the stuffed toys?
Yeah, I had a mate, Sydney Manson, who was a fabricator at the time. He made me this ingenious little device. Actually, I've got one on me, hang on. There you go.
Two vivids. What was behind these double-ups or duplicates?
Well, the double insect splatter I used a lot on vehicles. It was about dying together. You know, that thing of not leaving someone behind. And the beer glasses, it was two figures, meant to be brothers, or maybe father and son, one looking out for the other. Had a lot of drinkers around town with black lips during that time.
I guess you still haven't really answered my first question.
Which was?
Why so small?
Yeah, well, I did used to do larger scale sort of spray paint stuff when I was younger, but I got caught and I did community service, PD, blah, blah, blah. My old man, he wasn't very well at the time, and it hit him pretty hard. He said he was deeply ashamed and disappointed in me, and that I was wasting my God-given talent. And all he ever wanted, he reckons, was for me to make him proud.
So that's why you decided to work in miniature? So your father wouldn't be ashamed?
That's right. Yeah, I could carry on doing what I loved, and he'd never know about it.
You've managed to make him happy and be successful yourself? Isn't that what all sons want?
Yeah, well, when you look at it that way, sure, but he never saw my name in lights. He died before I made it any kind of big cancer. He worked for 40 years at the same place with over 100 people. In the last week of his life, I was the only one who came to visit him. It was all a pointless exercise.